Well, hello, Sonder family. It sure is good to see you on this hump day. You've made time for yourself, time for your journal. We're going to tackle these journal pages tonight. We've got some great reflections, some great moments for you to just sit back and, enjoy kind of working on yourself and thinking about what independence looks like in your life. You are all over tonight, coast to coast. I'm Jennifer Ogilvy. I'm coming to you from the Dallas, Texas area. So you have me in front of the camera tonight, and then my co-facilitator is Maya Martin Glenn, who is coming to you from Colorado. And she just said in the chat, 100 degrees in Colorado. That's kind of crazy. Usually that's what we're having. But you've got us on the call tonight. So if you have any questions along the way, Maya's going to be hanging out in that chat. So if I'm talking it up and I'm not able to answer a question, she'll try to do that for you, or she'll point you in the right direction. And it's just really great to see. I see a lot of familiar names, and I know we've got a couple of people who popped in and said this was their very first social. If that's you, let us welcome you. Drop that in the chat. Say, I'm here for the first time. This is a mics off, cameras off event. So you get to just chill out. You can, mute. We do have closed captions enabled if you would rather watch the closed captions rather than hear me. If the music's not your jam, go ahead and lower that volume. It's all about taking what you need. So I'm inviting you to do a couple of things tonight. There will be an opportunity to kind of dig into reflections via maybe a little art journaling if you so choose. You don't have to, but I want to make sure that, thank you, Andrea. I want to make sure that you have the supplies you need if you do choose to embrace a little bit of doodling or art, or even just adding colorful words to your pages tonight. So grab those colored pencils or colored pens. Additionally, I'm inviting you to go grab a candle. Now, don't light it yet, but go grab a candle, and then whatever you use to light it. We're going to have kind of a opening tonight that I want to have us share together. So, and if you're like, oh, I don't have a candle, it's okay. I'm going to invite you to just draw a little one, and you can still participate along the way. There's room for having it all, having just your whatever. We're just glad to be together. So yeah, I have a neat thing to invite you to in 6 days on next Tuesday evening. Pete, we love hanging out with Meha, our founder, when she goes live, right? And you will always glean something from it. You may be a longtime Silken Sonder journaler, but there's nothing like sitting with Meha and hearing her share. And so she's gonna do a little bit of a mid-year reset reflection time. Maya just dropped the link there in the chat, so you can grab that and go register. Now, this is open to anybody, members and non-members. So if you have some friends who want to know about the Silk and Sonder magic, there you go. Share that with them. I can remember a long time ago, somebody said, I want to share with everybody, but I also feel very selfish about this is my group. So it is a master class. She will be incorporating the ways Jenny, our Silken Sonder AI life coach, can support what the mid-year looks like, but you will also glean from the master herself, Meha. So bring a friend, bring your pen, bring your journal, and just get ready for that reset, and sit and take what you need from that. And isn't that the loveliest slide? I love that slide. There are our community guidelines. We always share those when we are with one another because we want to make sure our spaces are always safe. So if you've been here before, you've seen these guidelines, but the bottom line is basically be nice to everybody and be nice to yourself and take what you need from now. Now, we may be touching on some things that are a little uncomfortable. And so if your headspace isn't there tonight, it's okay to give yourself permission. Like, I'm just going to sit and read the chat and see what folks are sharing, and I'll work on this later. You do you, and you do what you need. So just that little reminder there. Of course, our new theme, independence. We sort of started looking at it in depth this week with our mind map at the weekly setup, and the pages that we're doing in our journal tonight. Particularly when we're looking at the letter to our mind, body, and spirit, or heart, really helps us start digging into what independence looks like in our lives. So we're going to have an opening activity, but we're actually going to have a pre-opening opening activity and then an opening activity. We're going to take a look at some ideas to look at that gratitude log in different ways. Now, I know many of you may just be doing that gratitude a day reflection. So, no worries. You may want to take one of these ideas and run with it on a notes page and do an additional gratitude activity. Gratitude is so good for us. It's really what you want to do. And then we're going to do that page 21, that connect with yourself. So I'm glad to be with you as we walk through that together. So grab that candle that you have. And I actually I have this candle that you see on the screen. And if you see it's almost gone, I kind of save it. And there's something about having like the same candle and those scents that work together with the journaling. Like when I use that same candle, it sort of sparks like, oh, this is journal time for me. Um, Maya's gonna drop a link in the chat because when I was trying to grab this for my example, I noticed they're on sale. So, my husband calls me just a dollar Jennifer. So if you like the Wild Ambitions, which is a combo of rosemary, white tea, and lilac, highly recommend. It's very beautiful and it happens to be on sale right now. So, you have your candle, and I want you just to take a deep breath. Just don't light it yet. Just let's just kind of, you know, stop. We don't take deep breaths throughout the day. And quiet your thoughts. And if you don't have a candle present, just draw a little, like a little birthday candle in, the margin of your journal. And now, I want you, before you light your candle, I want you to reflect for a moment on what your purpose for lighting the candle tonight will be. Perhaps it's lighting of your candle for community. That's what I'm going to do for my beloved Texas. Things are so bad in our hill country, so I'm going to be thinking of the pain and sorrow and the hope for tomorrow when I light my candle. Maybe it's something very personal on your heart. Maybe there's a family member or a loved one. Maybe there's an unspoken hope or prayer that you've been carrying with you. Perhaps there's a social cause. Maybe you'll light it in memory of someone you love. Maybe you just light a candle for peace. And maybe there's just something else that I didn't mention, but you know what you're gonna do with that. So several months ago, in one of my socials, I introduced the idea of a solfeggio frequency, and that is that scientific-based research that's been done on the different sound waves and what they trigger in different parts of your brain. Tonight, we're going to listen to something that is at the 852 hertz. This frequency helps us, there's science behind it, replace negative thoughts with positive thoughts. It's believed to promote strength and self-awareness. So I'll begin just playing like 2 minutes of those frequencies. When you hear the music, go ahead and light your candle and sit quietly with the reason you're lighting your candle and just take some slow, deep, loving, hopeful breaths as you sit with this time. Ah, how does that feel? I'm gonna encourage you to keep your candle lit during our time together this evening to help you remember your purpose and the things that were on your heart. Thank you, my friends, for taking that moment of recentering. I am going to put the name of those frequencies. It's solfeggio frequencies, and I encourage you to look it up. There are frequencies that you can play for sleeping that will help you recenter. There's frequencies for when you need energy. There's frequencies when you need to really focus on love. And this is really there's a lot of science that is coming forth about those different frequencies for you. So, all right. I hope that that was a good little moment of settling and mindfulness for you. So, now let's take this calmness into thinking about our summer. And I'm going to invite you to find a blank page or a notes page, or maybe, you've got that extra journal. You could do this on a separate sheet of paper and maybe post it somewhere afterward. I love that y'all are writing kind of what's going on. The squeakiest toy in the world came present. So yes, that was the 852 hertz solfeggio frequency that we listen to. And I chose that one because it does help us with inner strength and self awareness. And that's where I wanted your focus to be as you found that purpose in lighting the candle. So you have one, two, or both that you can look at on this screen to kind of kick off, get our brains working as we think about our evening together. So it's my summer fun forecast. So if you could have one perfectly blissful, no responsibilities summer afternoon this week, what does that look like? Describe the sights, sounds, smells, and feelings of that ideal moment. You might put yourself in that place you want to be, right? Or maybe what's one small, simple pleasure you associate with summer that you're looking forward to experiencing soon? For example, the taste of a fresh strawberry or watermelon, maybe the feeling of grass on your bare feet, the sound of crickets, maybe lightning bugs. Maybe there's a song that comes on and just sings summer to you. So on that page, I'm going to give you some options. You can just write and respond to this prompt. But if you want to get creative, grab those markers and colored pencils and you could draw or doodle your response. Maybe you draw that juicy slice of watermelon or your toes in the sand. You could write a poem to yourself. You could take that summer afternoon and break it down into an exact timeline. So at 2 o'clock, I head to my favorite coffee shop and I get my iced latte. At 2:15, I drive to the library. At 2:30, I walk in and I go straight to whatever section. And then you find your nook and you spend your afternoon that way. Break it down and make it real. If you're feeling like you just don't wanna journal tonight, what is your favorite summer song that just puts a little kick in your step, little pep in your step? Look that up and write the lyrics out. You could design an invitation or write a permission slip to yourself to embrace either one of those um, prompts. So it's really up to you how you want to do that. And yes, I'll go back and forth between those. And Jessica, you brought up a really good point. You might want to just screenshot this, and maybe you do one of these right now and you save the other one for another evening when you're just needing to sit down and have some mindfulness time with your journal. I'll put on a couple of songs while you work on this, and we'd love to know what is coming up for you as you consider your summer fun forecast. Right. Thank you for giving me some inspiration. The chat is great. I'm going to encourage you to post this response in Sonder Club because there's some great things that you're looking forward to for your little summer fun forecast. If you are watching this right now on YouTube repeat, we'd also love to see what you come up with. So be sure you post that in Sonder Club. Thank you for embracing a little summer fun with me. Now, let's get into some gratitude for summertime. We're looking at that log on page 13, and I bet you the majority of you are doing this a day at a time, right? Are you tracking? Drop that in the chat. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. This month I did not do that. I normally use this as a day, that daily check-in with, what was happy today? Yes, okay, I'm seeing all of y'all. See, that's kind of where our mind goes, 31 slots, 31 days. I tend to do that as well. I did something different this month. I'm going to share my example. Well, Christine, I love that you forgot because we're going to help you fill that page up right now. Um, but I also want to encourage you that, keep doing that. Keep doing that daily check-in. I don't know if y'all can hear, but it is thundering and raining right now. So if I go back, boom, Maya's got me. She'll have my back in case we go out. I think we're okay though. Um, so I encourage you maybe find another notes page or a separate sheet of paper and perhaps embrace this gratitude time in a different way. We know how important gratitude is. We talk about gratitude reflections all the time in our Silk and Sonder family, right? We're especially grateful for each other. I love this gratitude prescription. We need to take a dose every single morning, start our day with a moment of gratitude, and it could cause shifts in perspective, which is a really good thing. It could cause feelings of abundance, and it can even decrease feelings of fear and anxiety. So we're going to embrace um, gratitude in a big way this month. And so, things happen in our brain when we can, take a breath, light that candle, sit for a moment, think about, the things that are great in your life. And when you do that, look at all the things that happens. It wires and fires new neural connections to our bliss center. You get the happy dopamine, right? Not the dopamine rush from scrolling or getting spending money, but that good healthy dopamine and serotonin. And that's what's responsible for happiness. It does reduce fear and anxiety. Imagine just listening, to 852 hertz sounds along with your gratitude reflection. We should be in good shape. But it also finally fosters cognitive restructuring, right? Actually rewires and restructures our brain, which results in positive thinking. That's why we do that rosebud thorn reflection every week. We turn that thorn into, we look at that and what's the lesson to be learned. We really examine that. So this is, here's a couple of gratitude logs of people that are doing what the majority of you are doing, and that is that gratitude a day, just kind of tracking it like that. I love the graphics that both of these people chose to include on their gratitude log. So perhaps, oh, Leanne, thank you. So you're not feeling abundant, Celeste. That's okay. You don't have to feel abundant right now. We're gonna, that's why we're doing this. We're gonna try to dig in. Um, Leanne, I love the fact that you added these. So maybe something from our opening activity, if you were thinking watermelon or strawberries or grass between your toes or flowers peeking out between your bare feet, maybe you draw a couple of those on your gratitude log while we're working on this portion of our social. Now, this is actually a list that I got from one of you, and I'm sorry I don't remember who, but it's just you fill in your gratitude log. This is mine from February. You fill it out And then you can do this on a day by day basis. You could do this as, a weekly reflection, and you just go and pick a few of these and you plug your answer in for all of this. So I've taken this list and I've broken it down, so, in bigger type over to the right. So if you wanted to grab that and put that on your gratitude log or on a notes page, but it's a really neat way to respond to a gratitude moment in your day. And then here's some other things. You could choose a theme for your gratitude list. So it could, whatever you want your theme to be. Take your journal and walk around your home and write down 31 things you see. Take a home tour and write down 31 things that you're grateful for. My light switch, my water faucet. List 31 people that are important to you. Think about nature, elements of nature. Just make a list of that. You don't have to make a list. You can write a letter. You can do this as a journal prompt. Recall a memory and write about that, something that brought you great amount of joy. Because remember that neural thing, all that neuro thing that's happening in your brain when you're making those connections. You could create a timeline and just do 24 hours, from midnight all the way to the next midnight, and write a point of gratitude for each hour of your day. So, like when you're sleeping, think of the things that you are grateful for, like your bed, your sheets, a pillow, the white noise machine, your sleep mask, your evening routine. So, you can really think about many things throughout your day. And then I said, practice turning your frown upside down. If you're feeling frustrated or down, angry, disappointed, if that thorn is just blaring at you, how can you spin it to find gratitude in that situation? Take a moment to think about that. Is there a way for you to find your lessons learned there? So I'm going to encourage you to kind of work on something with this gratitude log. Maybe you draw on it. Maybe you start a different gratitude reflection on a notes page. And we'll take a few minutes to dig into that. And then we'll get to our final journaling page and finish that one up together. All right. So we had a moment of gratitude. And, I hope maybe you got some inspiration for looking at this list in a different way. So maybe like the next time we have a gratitude list in your journal, you may wait and save it for one of the socials and approach it in a different manner. But whatever you do, make sure that you're making space for daily gratitude to make that brain happy. So now I'm going to invite you to turn to page 21. And I thought we would just kind of break this down together and work through it in a very gentle, loving way. Because it is an exercise where we are going to write love letters to our mind and our body and our heart. And then once we do that, we need to consider how can we make more time and space to connect with our whole person. And you're encouraged to express yourself openly. Remember, this is not being graded. This is your space. You can do page 21. And if it feels good to put stuff down and you want to rip the page up and throw it out, you have the right to do that. Once you've done it, right? Because sometimes when we start digging really deep into our heart and our mind and our body and it can get a little tough. So let's just do it in baby steps with each other. We'll hold each other's hands, okay? So let's start with your mind. Now you may already know exactly what you want to write, your love letter to your mind. But I do have a couple of prompt ideas on the screen just to get you started in case it feels a little weird to get going for it. Oh, Sierra Jenny did it for you. I love that. Well, she's your BFF. She knows you better than anybody, right? We love all the knowledge that is taken into consideration through our life coach. So you could start with, I love how you what is it? I forgive you for if there's a space that needs to be forgiven, or thank you for the ideas that whatever. You carry so much and still. So I want you to think, when I was a teacher and an educator and kids they would, give answers and I would say, "Oh, that's exactly what it is. Kiss your brain." Mwah, mwah. So kiss your brain tonight. How are you going to write a beautiful love letter to that brain? And then I have a fun graphic on there about ways to love your brain and trust that brain of yours and take care of it, get it going, get it moving, get the blood pumping, make sure you're hydrating every day. Do you know that dehydration is a huge cause of brain fog, like when because our brain needs a lot of water to be able to work the best it can. Another way to love that brain is to bookend your day with gratitude. You just did that. And then always say yes to new challenges. So maybe this will get you thinking. I'll let you work on it. Let us know what's coming up for you. All right, everybody, kiss your brains. That was some good thinking. Now let's look at that space for our body. And I was sharing with Maya when I see these kind of reflections in our journal, these journal prompts, the first thing I think about is like body image, right? What do I look like? And I go down that path, this is too big, this is too small, this is too old, this is too wrinkled, whatever, that outward appearance. And so I think this is a really good opportunity for us to embrace positivity, body positivity. And if you st- I'm in a much better place with body positivity than I ever have been in my entire life. Yo-yo diet or put on the weight, take off the weight, eat my feelings, all that business. And feeling very not embracing what my body could do and what it was doing for me. And so this one could feel a little uncomfortable, and that's okay. Just roll with it. But Maya, she dropped it a little bit earlier. You can scroll back up. But she'll probably drop it again. There it is. This is a wonderful blog. Now, I don't know this person's background, but this particular blog post is all about body positive affirmations. So if this is an area that you are working on, I invite you to go take a look at that. And I actually got this graphic from that. And it's just beautiful words to help support yourself. So think about and what I want to encourage you to do. Like if body positivity is something you're working on, maybe we don't look at the outside and we write a little note to a part of our body that is working really well. Maybe you write a note to your teeth and what your teeth mean to your body. It's your outward appearance. It gives you a smile. They chew your food. They help you speak so that you can make sense with words. Maybe we take one little part that we honor for this time together tonight, right? Just one little part. Maybe we thank our colon for doing the job that it does. Maybe we thank our lungs for the breaths that we take without even having to think about it. So maybe an idea for you is to embrace something that is functioning that allows you to live life. So you do what you need to do to take care of yourself. So let's work on this section. Share as you're comfortable with what's coming up for you. Good job finding ways to love your body, to apologize to your body, to be grateful for your body. Now let's take a moment to dig into that heart, our soul, our spirit. Um, when we give ourselves compassion, we open our hearts in ways that can transform our lives. So maybe we write to our heart, I know you're tired, but or your courage is. We've had some great themes this year. Think about some of those themes and how they support the heart of who you are. Or maybe I hear you win, or you keep choosing. So let's work on that. And then we'll close our time together. Again, share as you're comfortable in the chat. Right, my friends. Our time together goes by so quickly. There's the shout out to our coach. And we encourage you to always give feedback to headquarters, Silk and Sonder, um, www. No. It's Maya. Help me out. Concierge. There's the word. Concierge at silkandsonder.com to get feedback about our coach. And then Maya's gonna drop a bunch of links in the chat just in case you need anything. But this has been recorded and you'll be able to access this. And again, if you're watching it from a recording, we are glad that you joined us in the universe and you made time for yourself to do that. Here is our playlist, and I'll share the link to my independence list. It's kind of a mess and it's really long, but if you want to grab my Spotify, you can. I make lists every month. I encourage you now to end our time together with a deep breath and then a slow exhale as we say goodbye to one another. Thank you for joining us this evening, Sonder fam. It was really great to hang with you. Make it a great rest of your week.